Alright, what's going on, guys? Let's try back again. You're bringing in a video. So this video is going to be completely random, completely absurd. I don't even know why I'm doing it, but I'm just kind of doing it anyway, I guess just for fun. So this is going to be a matchup video. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to do these types of videos, but I'm definitely going to do this one as I felt like it was, kind of a big one. Now you've got in between the, in this video, you've got pretty much two of the biggest characters in all of, comic books and literature. We have pretty much the biggest comic book character in American comics, or at least probably top two, top three, in Superman. And as far as Japanese manga and anime goes, we have pretty much the biggest character from that, which is Goku. Is he the biggest character? I think you can say that. I think Goku is probably the biggest character, in any Japanese manga, anime, anything. Although they do have some others now, like some Naruto and Bleach and One Piece characters have gotten pretty big too, but I don't think anybody really holds a candle to Goku when it comes to anime or manga. So these two guys are both insanely overpowered, insanely they've got tons and tons of different powers. And I will say too that it depends. The result of this would depend on what stage they face each other at. For example, if you have Superman when he's young and he's just growing up and he doesn't really have a hold of all of his powers yet, obviously he's not going to be able to beat Super Saiyan level 3 Goku or something like that. And likewise, when we first start Dragon Ball Z and you get to meet Goku, and he's using Kao Ken attacks and stuff like that are, they're, compared to where he's at later on in the series, it's kind of, his power level is very minuscule compared to where it gets later on. So I'm going to say that pretty much, your typical Superman, the typical Superman you'd think of is probably in about his 30s, roughly, and has developed pretty much all of his powers that he's going to develop, in his lifetime, pretty much. And then for Goku, we'll say that we'll go halfway. So not at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, not at the end. We'll go halfway. So he's basically Super Saiyan 1, let's say at the end of the Frieza saga, or just the beginning of the Cell saga. So you have these two guys going at it. Let's do a rundown of their powers. So we'll start with Superman. So Superman, as you guys all know, super speed, super strength, invulnerability, laser vision, the ability to fly, ice breath, so to speak. Insanely intelligent. He's able to see through objects, X-ray vision. He's able to think at very incredibly fast speeds. He can read a whole book in like 5 seconds. Things like that. And what else? I guess that's pretty much it. So that's Superman. You guys all know. By this point, let's go through Goku's abilities by the end when he's, let's say Super Saiyan 1 level. So obviously he can fly as well. Probably just the same as Superman in terms of flight speed and things like that. He can move super fast. He can transform Super Saiyan at this point to enhance his power. He can use Kai to create energy blasts from his hands. He can use instant transmission to move insanely fast and sort of teleport, so to speak. What else is Goku? What doesn't Goku have? The Spirit Bomb, so he's able to absorb energy from living creatures and living plants and animals, any kind of living cells, I guess you could say. What else has he got? He's got a plethora of other attacks too, I guess you could say, that that he could use. He probably has more abilities. I think when you look at it, when you look at the both of them, Goku has more abilities. He has a bigger plethora of attacks than Superman does. Being able to use his energy blast, being able to use his Kamehameha, his instant transmission, his combos. And I think the biggest difference between these two guys is that Goku is a pure fighter, really. You see Goku training all the time. He's always trained to be a better fighter, whereas Superman is more like, okay, there really isn't hardly anybody out there that can mess with me, so I'm not going to go off and train in the same way. He doesn't really. I haven't read any comic books where Superman really goes off and studies martial arts and things like that. He's kind of just like, I'm Superman and I'll beat your ass. That's all there is to it. In terms of technique, in terms of finesse, in terms of studying, martial arts, I think you have to go with Goku. Because you see Goku, he's always trying to perfect. He's always in the world tournaments. Even when he's a kid, he's in the world tournaments. He's learning these new techniques. He's got his unique fighting style that he uses. and he's always kind of studying, and he uses a lot more of his body in his attacks. He doesn't just, Superman is basically a power puncher, really, when it comes down to it. At least in my opinion, he's a power puncher. I see him that way. He uses his X-ray vision, his laser vision, his, some of his other, super strength to throw. He'll do some throws, but other than that, he's really, mostly just using his hands. He doesn't really, you don't see Superman kick very often. You never see him knee. You never see him, throw the kind of combos that you'll see Goku throw. Goku will, throw high kicks. He'll throw low kicks. He'll throw, pretty much anything you can imagine, even headbutts at certain times, like anything, So when it comes down to it, I really got to say that, in terms of fighting style, I got to go with Goku. Goku's just, I think he's a better fighter in terms of technique and that. Let's move on to some other things that could be effective in in this match. Like, for example, you have super strength. So which one of the two is stronger? I don't really think you can say that one is stronger than the other physically, in terms of what they can lift, in terms of what they can push. I'd say they're pretty much equal, and if you had to go with one, really it could go either way. You can make a case to say that Superman's stronger. You can make a case to say that Goku's stronger. Either one, I guess, we'll say they're even pretty much. In terms of speed, they can both move at rates where you can't even really see them. Like, for example, lots of times in Dragon Ball Z, you'll see Goku move around. You can't even see, what he's doing. He's just kind of it's just like blinks around, and you just see flashes. Superman exactly the same way. He's has certain, comics where he will race even like the Flash, and he'll almost beat him, or he'll tie with him, or get very close, that kind of stuff. So, he's insanely fast as well. So in terms of speed, also, I got to say they're pretty much neck and neck. In terms of, let's say, invulnerability or defense, and which can take more, yeah, Superman, obviously, like he's pretty much, the Man of Steel, he can pretty much take anything. But I've never really seen any situations where, Superman will get pounded on for that long and will still be around. You guys know in Dragon Ball Z, Goku, at certain times will get his ass handed to him for a long time, like a couple episodes. So here I gotta say that's a tie too. Following on with the whole thing where, in Dragon Ball Z, the fights will go on forever. I got to give the cardio advantage to Goku. You just have to. The guy fights forever. Like, there are episodes with him and Frieza fighting for like 20 episodes and stuff like this forever, for an entire day almost. You just don't see Superman do that kind of stuff most times. When he fought Doomsday, I don't think that was a whole day. That was probably, I don't know, maybe an hour, half an hour, tops? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. But, yeah, so when it comes down to it in the end, Goku just has more abilities than Superman does. He's just... he's his equal, I would say, or greater in pretty much every other category. But the key is that Goku is a much better fighter. He's got more knowledge of fighting. He trains more. Superman is more like, I gotta save everybody all the time. So I'm going over here to, stop volcanoes from erupting. I'm going over there to, to stop planes from crashing. I'm going over here to stop missiles that Lex Luthor's firing at things. Goku's like, okay, so Frieza's here, and he's going to blow up the entire planet, and I have to stop him. There you go. So, when it comes down to it, I got to say that Goku would beat the shit out of Superman. Superman is nowhere near Goku's league. He may be in terms of, physical prowess, but in terms of fighting skill, training, and willpower, Goku takes this fight hands down, no question. Let me know what you guys think about this, and if you have a suggestion for another matchup you'd like me to do next, I will take it into consideration. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep doing these, but if they're fun and people enjoy them, maybe I will. Alright, that's it guys, later. Peace.